My name is Jackson, aka the Big Unit. Some of you know me as the guitar repair guy. Some of you know me as the lead singer, guitarist, and songwriter for the heavy metal band Shatterbone. Some of you know me as an electrical educator. Some of you know me as the guy with the crazy guitar collection. Some of you know me as a die-hard Raiders fan. For years I have worked on, collected, played, and spent all my free time around guitars. But now I am going to do something I have never attempted before. I'm gonna build a guitar. Alright, hello again everybody. I am currently preparing to tape my stencil in place here that I made earlier before I glued the top on. I lined up essentially letting me know where my drill holes were and all that kind of stuff. The goal here is, or the hope is that if it stops shifting around this much, then I can drill through here where I had my bridge originally marked out. This tape doesn't stick to this at all. And theoretically, it should line up with the holes that I already had drilled there. Hopefully and theoretically and all that. And I think rather than try and magically hit that, I might be better off using the channel I already had from the back side. Oh, but that, never mind, that filled with glue. Okay, so I guess I am going to have to go at it about this direction and hope I hit it again. Had it filled with glue. Oh.
What'd you do? What did you do?
I just drilled through the back of the guitar.
Well, maybe you can fill it in.
guess my only option is to route that cavity cover plate slightly wider and make a non-standard cover and hide that hole underneath the lip of the cover plate. Looks like the glue might have bubbled in the rear cavity just a little bit here too. And I think I have now resolved myself to master volume, master tone, and switch. And I think the best way to do this is probably going to be to go at it from the back side with a smaller bit, so I can line my brad point bit up from the front side and then drill from the front side. This way I know I've got them positioned in the cavity where I've got room to work, but I don't suffer tear out on the front because I tried to drill through from the back with a big bit. These are usually about 10 millimeters, but I seem to be on a collision course at the moment, so I'm just going to make absolutely sure that I'm not dead set on screwing everything up here.
Just remember it's a learning experience.
3/8. Seconds. Oh. And I still got a ridiculous amount of tear out. I'm just having a freaking great day here.
What kind of file is that?
It's a round file. I'm gonna have to put a little more sandpaper on that before we stain. Yeah, for those of you who were wondering how thin was it, it was so thin I could actually see a few of the glue beads bubbling up through the wood after I glued the top on. That's how thin it was. And now I kind of do have a hump in the control cavity here, but I don't think that's going to cause a huge problem, because I mean I do have long shaft pots here, so I mean even if I were to go all the way to the base of the pot, I think that sticks out more than far enough. So I should be fine, even though the inside of the control cavity is bubbled up a little bit. Now I won't actually have it that far through. I'm going to put a nut on the back of it to raise it up a little bit, and a washer and that stuff, but I guess the one I do want to check though is make sure this fits through, because this has been the bane of my existence and it doesn't. So I am going to...
It doesn't?
No. I am going to see if I can just recess this switch a tiny bit.
Can you video that?
That's 16 millimeter. I don't have a 16 millimeter, I got a 15 millimeter. See what we can do here, and pray to God I don't go through the front. If I go through the front, I'm done. I'm not doing it again. As far as trying to, that's not even gonna work. Alright, so outside the box. If I can't drill it, we'll ream it. Honestly, I think it's all the glue that's causing an issue here. I'm going to file that hole a little bit more so I can get the recessed washer in there, and we're going to call it good. I'm not going to press my luck. All right.
Is it good?
I think so.
Yay!
decide if I want to do that with the router or if I want to do it with a chisel. I think router, I'm going to get a cleaner cut. Although the likelihood of disastrously screwing it up is far less with a chisel. Not really the job of this ruler, but it'll work for now. I think that'll work. Damn well better work. It's gonna work or the guitar's gonna have duct tape over the back of it, one of the two. Frustrating days are less fun. I notice that every once in a while with Ben too. Ben will have a day where he just is not look like he's feeling it, not look like he really wants to be there today. Things aren't going right. People are making a bunch of obnoxious or rude comments or something like that on the live stream, whatever. And he just, you can see it in his face that he's just really not feeling it today. And I can sympathize because I'm really not feeling it today. It's nice when everything goes smoothly. Sucks when everything goes sideways. Okay, so I guess next we're going to progress out to the garage side, shed A, if you will. And I gotta sand that a little bit because I had a little tear out. And then I think we can start with the staining. So, we'll reconvene out there in just a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are back in the shop B, and I'm going to turn the light on. There we go. Okay, and we are ready to start staining. Now, I've sanded everything to 220, and I think I'm going to use the same stain colors that I had originally planned for the ash, but I think I might do 3 stages instead of 2 stages on the quilt, just to make the quilt pop more. But to start out, we're just going to do royal blue over everything. Get my Dexter gloves on here. If you know, you know. Alright, anyway. Originally started buying these because my skin is really sensitive to capsaicin. I mean, like, even cutting up a jalapeno, my hands just burn. So that's why we originally bought them, but now every time I go to cut up peppers, I feel like I'm ready to murder myself a serial killer or something. Anyway. That's a joke, YouTube. Don't panic. I'm not actually planning on killing anyone or anything like that. Okay. So we're going to start out with royal blue, stunning spirit stain, crimson guitars, awesome stuff. Now, when you put stain on, you want to make sure that you're going with the grain as much as possible. I know when you look at flame and quilt and stuff like that, it looks like it's all kinds of funny directions and stuff like that, but the overruling grain pattern is still running a certain direction. So try and get your stain in your, run it along the grain, in line with the grain as much as possible. I do have a couple of spots here where I probably could have used grain filler, but I don't have any I have already spent an exorbitant amount of money getting into building guitars, and time's running short, folks. I mean, I'm usually a bit of a procrastinator, but this is not due to procrastination. This is because of the fact that I'm so stinking busy with work. I've been on the road a lot this year, and it's cutting into my build time. And I noticed that I had some grain issues, but nobody locally has a good grain filler product or anything like that. And I don't have time to run out of town because I'm driving all the way over to Illinois starting next week. And yeah, we're on the cusp of September right now as this is being filmed. It ain't gonna be long and this is gonna be over with, the GGBO. And I'd really like to have this done before that happens. Because, I mean, I'm not expecting to win anything. I'm not even remotely considering that. I look at some of the stuff that some of the other guys have built and done, and I'm just like, mine's about as meat and potatoes basic as it gets. But at the same time, I still want to finish on time. Not even considering the, I want to win. I just want to finish. This isn't about winning a race, it's about finishing. I thought about trying to mask off that top to leave it a natural binding look, but everything I have heard, read, whatever about staining has led me to believe that that's pretty much a futile effort. So I didn't. I'm just gonna do the whole thing. So like I said, we're gonna start out staining everything royal blue. And we're gonna sand that back. And then how I had initially done it was I'd gone back over with denim blue. And that's what's probably still the plan for the ash wood, the back of the body here. But for the front, with that quilt, it looks really nice. Just two-tone, but I think I can get it to pop even more going with a sky blue at the end. I mean, their sky blue is pretty pale. I mean, it's a pastel stain, but I think that it's still gonna add to the flavor.
Okay.
Alright, so now we're ready to start sanding the blue back. I have 320 grit because like I said, I don't want to completely remove what's there. I just want to sand it back a ways. I still want some of the dark blue. Alright. Okay. I think that's about all I want to do. Just a little bit. Okay, now. Okay, so for the final pass for stain, we're gonna go with the sky blue pastel. It's very pale. It's not intense or anything like that. It's not a color assault. It just adds a little bit of blue tint to the lightest parts here. So after a bit of deliberation and a supporting vote from Mrs. Unit here, I have decided that I'm going to stain the neck. I'm going to go amber on the neck. I think that looks kind of sharp. Of course it's not quilted, but I mean, it's maple. So I'm going to stain the neck amber. Again, Crimson Stunning Spirit stains amber. I don't know if I'm gonna, I haven't decided what I'm doing on the peg head yet. If I'm gonna go with amber on the peg head too, or if I'm gonna try and do blue on the peg head. I'm on the face of the peg head. I mean, I don't have enough of the quilt maple left from the body blank, or the body veneer to put a veneer on the headstock too, so that's not an option for those of you who are already typing that, because that would be a really cool idea if I had it, but I don't, so it ain't gonna work. So just head down.
I'm in love with your head and all the rest of you.
Oh, thanks.
Are you gonna do inside the holes?
You know, you won't see that anyway with the tuners in there.
I like it. It looks cool.
Yeah. Kind of got a roasted maple look to it.
Yeah. It looks nice together.
Alright, well. Next step, I guess, is the putting finish on it. For that, we're going to use the High Build Guitar Finishing Oil from Crimson. Ah! A little bit runny. Not runny, but runny when you take the paper towel away before you got it back up, right?
What is that supposed to do?
It penetrates the wood grain, so it raises the wood grain up a little bit, makes it look a little more three-dimensional, but then it also seals everything up, so we don't have if it's just porous wood and it doesn't have any kind of a sealer to it of any kind, it has a tendency to pick up whatever touches it. So next thing you know, you got greasy fingers one day when you go to play your guitar or something like that, and it's now got greasy fingerprints on it or stuff like that. So this, number one, helps seal it. Number two, helps bring up the grain, make it look a little cooler, you know, bring the whole figure out.
Are you gonna do the whole thing with that?
Oh yeah. Smells nice. Probably shouldn't sit here huffing it or anything, but it smells nice.
Good thing we're in a ventilated area.
Right.
You do the neck pocket in that spacer too?
Who what?
Do you do the neck pocket in the shim?
I don't think it's necessary. I probably could. Oh, it's going through the holes. Oh well. That's why I put it on plastic.
So you don't have to do that in the pickup holes?
No. Pickup holes are gonna have shielding paint in them.
Oh,
So they're gonna be black. I thought about foiling, because, I mean, that's what I've done to every guitar up to this point in my life, but now that we've got shielding paint, it's a lot less of a pain in the butt than then trying to get a bunch of sticky back foil to stay in place and not look all wrinkled and jumbled and like crap. And if it works, why spit in the eye of progress, right?
Right. How many layers do you put on?
What you do is you rub it in until you start to see it not wanting to absorb anymore. Once it starts to stay on the surface, push back out, and I'm getting there. I'm seeing a few spots already that that's happening. Once it gets to that point, then you start rubbing it back.
Are you gonna have enough?
Oh yeah. Ah, doing so good.
You were.
Must have got some on the bottle. It's slippery and greasy. One might even say oily.
So what's the next step after you're done with the oil?
Well, we're gonna have to let her sit for a little while and let that oil cure, probably a day or two, which is gonna be a week because I gotta hit the road again. And then over Labor Day weekend, I think we will be able to start tackling the shielding, and then start assembling this old bird up. Because I want to rock. I think at this point, that's about going to do it. Because I can't do anything else until that sets up, dries out, cures, however you want to paint by numbers, is the word I'm looking for. Maybe it'd be better off hanging it up rather than laying it down, at least the body. I guarantee it ain't heavier than this.
It's on display.
Yeah. I'd rather have it hanging over here anyway, I think. Nope. Up it. Nope. There we go. No, I'm not that upset about the guitar. So, got the neck oiled up, got the body oiled up. The body is hanging for its crimes. I mean, hanging to cure. And yeah, I think at this point, every one of my disaster pieces has been somewhat solvable. So that's a good sign. Yeah, I guess the next episode or the next step for me, because I don't know how I'm breaking episodes up right now. They're getting longer and longer because I'm running out of time. But I still have to plane down the board that I'm going to use for the cavity cover, and now I'm going to have to adjust its shape a little bit because I drilled through the back of the body on accident and had to make the cover a little larger. And then yeah, I guess we're getting closer to assembly here, and electronics and strings and rock. So thanks for watching, everybody. Click like, subscribe. See you next time.